This is Scholar Saunders Seeing What's Current. Back on that flat Earth shit. I the hater dropped it in my ear, so I got to do research on flat Earth. Wow, it's quite a doozy. I mean, there are actual human beings with brains, with the capacity to think, that aren't thinking. They have the capacity to think, but they aren't thinking. They're evading that activity. They're evading that function. And that's sad because there's still people with prominent people like B.O.B., the rapper and artist. He said to Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, who I spoke about yesterday in previous shows. He said, there's the Earth is flat, and that's all I know. Like, and I'm sure he's been on a private jet. I'm sure he has at least been on a private jet at least once in his life. And when he was 30,000 feet up, and he looked out the window, he didn't see that it was the flat plane. It was just a nothing outside of the plane. He saw the curvature of the Earth, most likely. He just is denying it. And that's the thing. That's what's so sad. People are denying their own senses. They're denying their own rationality. And this is the interesting thing about scientists. Scientists may hold some truths and may have the capacity to have a rationale for certain facts, but then they may have certain reservations, political most likely, that disrupt their thinking, like climate change and that whole debacle, that whole argument and everything that goes along with it. I mean, it's very distressing when you think about it. Uh, it's like people that don't realize that they're saying climate change is caused by human beings. Okay, 200 years of heavy industry, all around the globe, heavy, using pumping all this CO2 in the air. You might have a case. You could have a case. You could have a strong case for that. But the point is, how much of an impact is that CO2 being pumped into the air for the past 2 centuries, or a little bit more, a little over 2 centuries? How much of that is actually there? Excuse me. So, like I was saying, excuse me. Excuse me for one moment. But like I was saying, there's differences between scientists and philosophers. Philosophy is the soil which makes science possible. It makes it possible. Makes science actually the trees in the forest grow up. That's what it does. So we have to acknowledge that, because we're going to have people that will say on the same side, of course, yeah, objectivists, and I'm saying philosophy, especially objectivists. I'm an objectivist, um, and an objective hater, but that's uh, like a modifier to objectivism. But no, so you'll have scientists and objectivists agree, especially objectivists agree. Yeah, this is around Earth. This is around Earth. We're on Earth, and we know that it's spherical. It's not a perfect sphere. It's kind of squished. Like I said, it looks like not as pointy as of football, but it has that kind of obliqueness to it. It's kind of oblique. Um, but so you have these flat earthers that have a certain way about them that is just they're just staunch. They dig their feet in the ground, and they're completely different. Now, scientists will, completely disregard flat earthers and everything like that, but they won't disregard people that say that we need more fossil fuels, we need more oil, natural gas, and coal, and it's not a fossil fuel, but we need more, nuclear power. That would be the most advantageous part of all this is if we had that. But apparently, there are people that don't understand or don't get it, don't really find themselves, to be in the right camps, and so they get mired down. And it's like the flat earthers, they get bewildered because they're like, well, they're gonna fight over that. How do we know who's telling the truth about the flat Earth? And then like, well, they have to say, and then the objectivists and the certain scientists had to say, no, 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 this is the facts, this is the reality of physics, this is the truth. They can both say that at the same time, but like the fight, for things like global warming, like that's contentious. That's those are fighting words in some corners, talking about how we need to have more paper bags and ridiculous things like that. And like in my state, we have a paper bag rule that you can't use plastic bags. A complete violation of individual rights of businesses of all that. They're telling businesses they can't use whatever materials they wish to use. That's a complete and utter and obvious violation of individual rights. But we have to live with it. We're living with it. I mean, what do you do? If somebody gave me the map, I'll follow it. You tell me which way to go, I'll go. I don't know. I don't know. Nobody said, hey, they're talking about putting paper bags in stores, and they're doing away with plastic bags. What are you going to do? And so I mean that was I think almost close to 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, around the time of the pandemic. I think it was exactly 2020 when the paper bags came in, the plastic bags went out. And what is that going to do? What major shift in the ecosystem is that going to play? Exactly. Not a very big one, I think. And why do other states do it? Other states acknowledge the plastic bags, so we're superior to them somehow because we use brown bags, we use paper bags, we use reusable bags. We're a bit more sophisticated than you. It's like real weird. It's a weird kind of situation. But so getting back to flat earthers. Okay, so flat earthers have to make a choice. So I hope I can only guide them in the right way of objectivism, because objectivism is going to be complete, full, honest, and on point at every issue. No, none of the issues are going to be off. There's no off issues. There could be some corrections. That's possible. Objectivism is a philosophy. It's not infallible, but it's the closest thing you got. It's the closest thing you got to rationality and reality and truth. The closest thing ever devised. No other philosophy before it has ever come this close. The closest was probably Aristotle, maybe Thomas Aquinas, but Ayn Rand had the right idea, and she formulated it, and she synthesized it, and she codified it into a rational morality. So I think that she deserves all the credit for that. And I just take from the guy that brought me to the dance, Mr. Chorstar Terrain, he has objective hate. So that is the truth too, because we're all hateful. Everybody has something that they hate. It doesn't matter if you're 4 years old or you're 40 years old. And if you're 8 years old or 80 years old, you have something that you hate. Something, one thing. Even if it's like I hate evil, I hate ugliness, I hate disgustingness, I hate all that. Those are things I hate. So flat earthers, I don't hate flat earthers. I hate the idea of flat earthers. I hate the idea that people would subscribe to something that's not true, that's not factual, that's not right, that isn't grounded in reality. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what I think is so sad. That's what I think is really a shame. Because we have so many outlets. The internet, oh my God. If you can't find the right pathway, on the internet, then you're not on the right way. You're not on the right road. That's why if somebody would lead me to that pathway on the internet, because sometimes you need a little assistance, because there are literally billions of sites, maybe even trillions of sites available to you on the internet, and you may not know, but people that are flat earthers, I mean, there are monumental scientific findings. NASA. If you want to fake things like the NASA lunar mission or just sending somebody into space, according to somebody that was a childhood hero of mine, Dr. Bill Nye the Science Guy, um, he had a great point, because it takes a lot of documentation just to put one astronaut in a rocket ship and send him or her to the cosmos, to outer space. Just the amount of documentation it would take. So why would a government agency like NASA, not like other agencies that have lied, that have done experiments and done some foul things, but NASA's like on the list of the way down the list of inappropriate or corrupt um, agencies within the government. They're very low. So I think that we have to definitely take into the account the amount of people that don't really see or understand, because you can see, because like I love what Ayn Rand said. She said, it's not a blindness, but a refusal, not even a failure. That's blindness, but a refusal to see, not an ignorance, but a refusal to know. You're refusing. You're refusing to understand. You're refusing to know. You're refusing to realize. You're refusing to see what your senses are telling you. You're refusing it. It's a refusal. So that's what is so dramatic and traumatic about all of this. That's what's so disturbing, is that we have these people with these flat Earth ideas. And it's like a tangle. It's all tangled up. Everything is tangled up, because most of them probably believe in God, probably believe in some mystical ideal. So that's one thing. So you have a strand of that. You have one person, some people that were in the sciences and knew know what the differences between physics and biology and chemistry, and can ace all the tests and do very well in science, but still believe in God or something like that. And it's like it's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. It's a shame. It really is. It's really sad, because people that are flat earthers, I give them credit. I have to give them credit for at least being passionate about something. They're passionate about the wrong thing, but they're really passionate about their stance. Excuse me. They're extremely passionate. They're not letting themselves be swayed one way or the other. They're not allowing themselves to be brought back down to reality. Like it's like ironic, because it seems like they're off. planet Earth. Their minds are off of planet Earth. They're not on flat ground. They're not on this level surface. So, but they're flat earthers. It's ironic. Um, the reasoning is not there. The thought process isn't there. They're not properly equipped. They just need the right equipment, and I think they'll be all right. That's what I see. So with flat earthers, their main struggle, their main fight should be one to say, you know what, I give up the fight. I'm not fighting for that side anymore. And they shouldn't feel stupid or dumb or, why did I think that? Because that's what exactly where I was when I was like, why did I believe in God? Oh my God, I wasted all those years of my life. I can't believe it. There's people that I still know and love that believe in God. And there's nothing you can tell them really. It's too much. It's too baked in. It's too ingrained. It's too far. I mean, I could go at the children, but I can't go at my niece and nephew because that's not my kids. That's not my, that's not my issue. That's not my proper grounds to do. I leave that up to their parents to do that. So that's their job. If they want to raise them up in the God fearing house, so be it. That's their issue. That's what goes on with their lives. But if I have children, yes, they're getting raised in an objectivist home, and I'm giving them the option. That's the thing. Nobody's get the option too many times. You want to go with God, or you want to go with the reality? You want to go with objectivism? You want to go with truth? What you have to make that decision? You have to make that right point. Flat earthers, they just like I'm just looking at the footage, and they have diagrams, they got markings and video and all kinds of things, and they show the table. There's a guy named Parallax that is like their champion. I'm using my notes. I'm looking for Samuel Rowbottom. He used the pseudonym Parallax. His work was originally published as a 16-page pamphlet and later expanded into a book. He called it his method zetetic astronomy. Models the Earth as a flat disk centered at the North Pole and bounded along its perimeter by a wall of ice, with the sun, moon, planets, and stars moving only several thousand miles above the surface of the Earth. Now, we all know that's not true. We all know that's not true. They're millions of miles away. The planets are millions of miles away. So that gets debunked right there. It's like, okay, it's enough. Stop. Okay, sorry. All votes. No more calls. All votes are in. You can stop your nonsense right now. That's what I'm saying. And if you are viewing right now, who is this? Who is this? Bella Valentina. Hello again. Bella Valentina, do you have $5 for me? You have $5? I need this to make up for the show. I'm not having too many viewers. You're like my only viewer, so hello. Salute to you, Bella Valentino. Salute to you. I need to make up for the show. I need to recoup. I was gonna have at least at least 200 people flying in here. It was just an experiment, so the experiment failed. You gotta fail in order to win, in order to succeed. It's not like you want to fail. It's just that it's a simple fact of life. You are my only viewer right now, Bella. You should be happy with that. We're having a conversation together, I guess, right now. It's just me and you. But yeah, so are you a flat earther, Bella Valentino? Do you believe that the earth is flat? Let me ask you questions. But yeah, so flat earthers, they are, it just in the year 2024, Well, it's not a wish necessarily. It's not really a wish. I wish a nigga would. No, but no idea really. Okay, at least you're honest. Thank you for being honest. I appreciate that. Thank you for being honest, Bella. And there's two people in here now, so you can tell three people about me, but don't tell four people. Just tell three people to say there's this goofy guy with a black hat and a black shirt and a gold tie. Just tell three people about me. Tell three of your friends. Don't tell four friends though. Just tell three. Um, but that is the truth. That is the sadness. I mean, there's little things that go on in science fiction movies. Like you watch Star Wars, all that is bullshit. It's all just for entertainment. There's no sound in space. There's no sound. So how can you have these lasers, pew 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 pew, and explosions in space, and there's no sound. There's no sound in space. What are you doing? Like, but that's just all for effect. We just like, oh, it's not just entertainment. What? It's not that serious. It's not that big a deal. I mean, when it comes down to flat earthers, it is a big deal. Will do, because I only got three. Well, that's good. I appreciate that, Bella. Thank you very much. You are of age, right? You're over 18 years old, right? I'm not talking to a minor, am I? A minor. So, flat earthers, man, they're just, and it's like, it just got resparked. It was like this for thousands of years. Yeah, okay, you are. Okay, great, great. Good to know. Good to know. Um, it just got resparked within the last 10 years or more, maybe a little more, but people have been talking about, the earth is flat, the earth is flat. Too much evidence. Like beyond even control. Like I said, they use a stick. All you gotta use is put a stick in the ground and watch the sun, how it goes over the stick. Or if, like we had a few months ago, the eclipse. Depending on what eclipse it is, you can see the curvature of the Earth. You can see that it's spherical. It's a sphere. It's spherical, really. It's not like a perfect ball, but it's like it's semi. It's oblique sphere. That's what it is. So you have these flat earthers that just want to hang on to an idea to be cute or to be funny, or they're really serious. It depends on who the individual is. They could be very serious about what they're saying, or they could be just playing and not taking it that seriously. They're like, oh, I just wanted to say this, but that's not really how it goes. That's up to them. That's really up to them. That's their business. If you want it, like I said, you want to believe in God, fine. Don't foist it upon me. Don't put your beliefs on me. Don't force me to be in your circle to say that there is some kind of celestial being. Excuse me for a moment. So you can't really put it on anyone else, your beliefs, because that flat Earth is a belief. That's not an assertion. Really, that's not like that's an assumption. That's a not a conclusion. That is just what you want to say, what you feel like saying, what you feel like saying. It's an emotional thing. It's all about emotion. It's not science. The province of science is embodied in objectivism. There are people like Dr. Keith Lockridge. He's a physicist, and he knows a lot about the reality of the world, the reality of the Earth, and the properties that go in and are tied to not only the Earth but the universe. So that's the beauty of objectivism, is that it maintains its position on science, and it stands on that ground. It stands on that positioning and gives it that option. It gives it that basis for reality, and that's why I'm an objectivist. Because, like I said, objectivists are going to disagree with other scientists, even though they agree with, okay, of course, it's around Earth. We can agree with that. We can agree with that. It's around Earth. Got you on that. Got you. Cool. Great. Round Earth. Wonderful. Got you. However, global warming, that's the thing we have to really contend with, because in 1960s, late 1960s, they said there was going to be a population bomb. There's going to be such a great amount of people on the earth that it would take away from all the different, uh, different countries, and people would be starving in the street, and people wouldn't have housing, and there'd be too many people on the planet. Didn't happen. We have been farming for thousands of years. Just in the last 150 years or so, there have been a sharp decline in farmers, because we don't really need farmers like that. And I think maybe in 1924, like 100 years ago, there may have been like 40 something, maybe 50 something percent of the population were farmers. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, please get me wrong, because I don't know if those are exact figures, but I gotta be close. I'm just giving a rough estimate. I'm giving you a rough estimate. Now we have like 2% or less than 2% of the population are farmers. So, I mean, that's what it is. I'm even look at. Let me correct myself. I could be wrong. I was 10% greater than in 1900. It said that from here. Calvin Coolidge Presidential Foundation. According to estimates, the number of people on farms in 1924 was about 10% greater than in 1900. So how much was in 1900? How many farmers in 1900? Yeah. So I was right. I was right. I just, hey, I have to pat myself on the back, give myself, let me know. You know what I'm saying? That's what it says. In 1900, the United States had 5.7 million farms with an average size of 138 acres. This is a decrease from the average size of 199 acres in 1860. At the same time, the percentage of the U.S. population living on farms was just under 40%, down from 50% in 1860. This was due in part to an increasing urban population that caused problems for farmers. So I was a little off, but from 1900 it was 40%. 1924 it was up 10%. So was that 50? Almost half? Was it? Is that do the math right? I'm terrible at math, but yeah, that's what I got from that. But yeah, so okay, so going on, 1970s, they said, "Oh, the globe is cooling. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's going to get colder now. Everything's going to get colder." They're like, "Nah, we're going to protest Vietnam War. We're going to talk about Nixon and the Pentagon Papers and Watergate, and let's talk about all that, and make a fuss about that, and talking about that." And they're like, "We're going to nix the cooling thing. That's not going to." So then they had to say global warming. They're like, "Oh, well, it is getting kind of warm out. I gotta take off this jacket. It's getting kind of warm." And so, people flocked to the global warming thing, and it just got hotter. Did you see what I did there? As people got you know the idea of global warming being an issue, when it really isn't. Okay, Bella Valentino says, "I have to go. It's getting very late in my country. Though I must say you are very interesting. Have a good day. Have a great day, Bella Valentino. Thank you for coming with me. What country are you with? In what country do you live? May I ask? I don't know. You might already went away by now, but what country are you from? You have great English. You must have a translation if not. But yeah. So flat earther Denmark. Okay. So are you recommended by oh god, I can't think of his name. Oh my god. Oh, I can't think of his name. But who recommended you to this channel? How did you know about me? Oh, I think she's gone. I think she's gone. But thank you for that, Denmark. I can't think of his name. Something with a K. Can't think of his name. Thanks. I've been very good at it since I was a child. Yeah, yeah, you are. But who recommended you to this channel? Who recommended you to this broadcast? I can't. If he comes up on here, I know exactly what his name is, but I can't think of him right now. My friend did. He's from Estonia. Okay. I just had to learn about Tallinn, Estonia, a few months ago about when I was taking a Jeopardy test. My dumb ass didn't know about that the capital. But I appreciate you, Bella. Don't let me hold you up. You do your thing. Um, what I just want I'm probably just gonna dedicate this whole show to fallacies and truths and what people believe and what people will say and flat earthers. I just it's like I don't know. It's not even like a thing of like less filling, great taste. You have an amazing day too. You have an amazing day too, darling. You take care of yourself. Um, but yeah, so what I think is the truth is not, you know, it's like we have a thing called reality, and people don't want to engage in reality. They'll live in reality, but they don't engage in it. They don't properly understand and reflect and take in the mechanics of being in a real situation, being in truth. That's just the way it is. Sadly, that's just the way it is. Sadly, we have to acknowledge that. We have to, see that as the facts that go on and that go on in this world, and it just gets to a point where it's very difficult to try to say to people, there's this thing that you're living in right now that you may not be aware of. It's called reality. You might not recognize it, you might not acknowledge it, but it acknowledges you, and it acknowledges you every day. And you do actions to prevent you from being erased from reality, and you may not even be conscious of it. So flat earthers, they'll be charged and say, the earth is flat, the earth is flat. You don't know what you're talking about. You have no clue. Yet the science is there. What science are you talking about? There's only one kind of science that's objective reality. That's the only kind of science that there is. The kind that can be used objectively. That's all there is. So I think if we have a greater understanding of truth, just real facts, the truth, then we would have a better world, obviously. Like we could argue, and that's the thing with the global warming. Global warming was like, yeah, okay, global warming. They didn't really go too far. In the '80s, it was more like the ozone layer. Everybody was talking about the ozone layer was going away. You can't use chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs. That was in the '80s and early '90s. That was That was the whole thing. It was carbon, dioxide, in the greenhouse gas. I mean, it's still part of global warming, but it's been, put to the side a little bit. Like you're not as sexy as the global warming. Global warming is hot. Oh, it's hot. Woo! Global warming is getting hot in here. You know, that's what it's like. I have 0 viewers right now. Zero. I have 2 likes, 0 viewers, as I can see. It may be different for you, but for me, I have 0 viewers and 2 likes right now. So I'm waiting for this to be put in broadcast, rebroadcast land, so I can get my likes up and my views. But I'm gonna still champion this time period. Still go forward. Um, I think that once we fully realize the the commitment we have to see, I think we'll be a better place because global warming, then it took on a weird space. It wasn't really much of a thing really in the '90s. All the late '90s was Bill Clinton, getting a blowjob. That was the whole thing with him. Like, did he get a blowjob? I don't know. Did he, well, there was the blue dress, and then she had the dress on, and there was the stain, and the stain. Like, it became a farce. It was an embarrassment for the entire country, for the office of the president of the United States of America. They weren't yelling for global warming. Nobody. There were very few people talking about global warming. Very few. Very few. Scant amount. Scant amount. Scant amount. So there was a scant amount. Scant amount of people. Then 2001, September 11th, 2001 came. Nobody was talking about global warming then. Nobody. Nobody was chanting in the streets, global warming, yeah, yeah, yeah. Nope. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. So then you had the Iraq War, well, Afghanistan War. Nobody was really too keen on the Afghanistan War. Uh, they attacked us. We got to go back at them. It's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be an issue. It's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be the main problem in the world. But they attacked us, so we gotta fight them. We're not gonna argue too much on that. But Iraq, oh, weapons of mass destruction, and oh, is he just getting back to avenge his father? Is he? What is what is the narrative on that? What is going on here? That's what we have to look at. See how much bullshit is getting tossed around. That's complete and utter bullshit. How they choose their battles when it suits them so conveniently. Because they weren't talking too much about global warming during the Iraq War. It was against Iraq. It wasn't as huge as the Vietnam War backlash. But now it's like now it's 10-7, 23. And before that, Ukraine, what was that, 2022? People are for Ukraine, people are for against Russia. That's the sad part. That's what gets really really sad because there's so many people that are on the front lines for Hamas and Palestine and stuff like that, and they're the one that attacked. That's where's the ceasefire in that? Why isn't there a ceasefire in that? And then they have to this is how ridiculous all this is. Global warming, They don't stop fighting, saying that well, the tanks and the rockets and the missiles and everything that's used to produce all that, the machinery that actually contributes to global warming, and they don't ever even consider that. Don't even consider that, which is false, I think, in the most part anyway. Um, but they're thinking about the war mostly. The son of the sun. It. You know what? It's a free show today. Fuck it. Um, do you think Earth flat? He didn't put a question mark. He didn't say, do you think the Earth is flat? He didn't say, do you think the Earth, capital E, is flat? He just said in the conventional internet speak, do you think Earth flat? Like, thanks for the viewership, sir, but I'm going to answer it though. No, I do not. I do not think the Earth is flat. You be going back on your word. How? Please give me examples. Give me specific examples and indefinite ideas. You said weekends are free. I said today's free. I just said fuck it. I just said today's fuck it. It's Saturday. Today's are free. I answered your question. I said you said, did you think the Earth is flat? I said no. I do not think Earth is flat. Are you paying attention? Are you hitting a sherm stick? What's going on? Weekends are free. I appreciate your viewership. Tell 3 people about me, but don't tell 4. Just say there's this goofy nigga, yeah, with a black hat and a gold tie and a black shirt. That'll help me out a lot. I appreciate it. You smoking a pole? No, 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 no pole smoking over here. Never have, never will. But okay, so you have the 2 wars that are raging right now: Ukraine and Russia, Hamas and Palestine and Gaza, whatever the case may be, against Israel. Just say factions against Israel, because like you want to say, well, the Palestinians aren't really, and the Gazans don't have, and it's really Hamas. Hamas is just an arm of the government. It is the government. They were voted into office in 2006, 2005, 2006, something like that. So they are the government. They are not just a military arm. They are the full ideal of the Palestinian Front, and that's what Israel is for. I'm skipping off the line a little bit, but that's what Israel is for. Israel is for being it's for being used as a punching bag because it is so great. It is so wonderful. And everybody, what is the fall of Israel? What are they divest in Israel? So that, okay, you divest in Israel, and what happens to the surrounding areas? They all go to hell because Israel is the bastion of hope, the beacon of light among mainly backward and uh, a wasteland. And that's what Israel stands for. It stands for a breath of hope in that region of all the different places, the Islamic states and the people that are supporting them. That's the funny thing. Gays and LGBTQ for Palestine and stuff like that. Really? Not the same Palestine that throws gay people off of buildings because they're gay? Is that what you really want? That's what you're considering? That's what it is. And I think that those are the same people that are flat earthers. Those are the people that are on the flat earth train. The ones that have those ideas of you know saying that Israel is evil and they're oppressors and they're genocidal. Let's talk about that for a moment. Genocidal means you're completely eradicating a specific people in a specific region. That's genocide. When you're trying to take out an entire people, that's genocide. That's what I talked about in the last few weeks. If you missed it, that's what they tried to do in Rwanda. That's what I'm talking about. I think Dubai will be washed away soon. They they fucked up with them weather machines. I don't know about the weather machines. You have to explain that a little bit. Let me look into that on my research. Okay, is cloud seeding? Is that what you're talking about? Saudi Arabia's? Is that what you're talking about? Wait, oh, that's different. That's UAE. I'm high. Yeah, weather machine. Yeah, cloud seeding. Is cloud seeding real in Dubai? The UAE doesn't have an operational cloud seeding program to enhance the rainfall in this arid part of the world. However, there is no technology in existence that can create or even severely modify this kind of rainfall event. So that's kind of bullshit, my friend. It's bullshit. The cloud seeding, I see what you're talking about, but and I'm glad you brought that up, but that's completely bullshit. That's complete bullshit. It's complete bullshit. Can't Doesn't work. It doesn't function. Whatever weather machine they tried, it's not functioning. But but that's how this long, this winding road I went on, this interweaving, braid that I've made. Um, that's that's what I'm talking about. Flat earthers are you know, global warming. Like I said, global warming as caused by fossil fuels and demonizing fossil fuels are the same thing. I said it, and I'll stand on that. It's a winding road because okay, I acknowledge, I admit, the world may be getting warmer, but you can't demonize, you can't take away from the idea of you can't take away from the idea of global warming being completely bunk, and you can't denigrate and demonize uh, oil, coal, and natural gas. They have literally risen the life or raised the lives of people out of poverty in the billions in over 30 years because of fossil fuels. As a result of fossil fuel usage, billions of people have raised out of poverty over the past 30 years. That has taken into account standard of living, quality of living, and extension and life extension. Because of you can see on graphs, they look like hockey sticks. They look just like hockey sticks. They look like this. See my arm, my black shirt, and how my hand is going like that. You'll see how many people were in poverty. You'll see how many people were suffering from different ailments. You'll see how many people lived to a different day because of fossil fuels. Okay, YouTube, Jeremy Clarkson, NASA, and playing God. Okay, Jeremy Clarkson. Let me look that up. Jeremy Clarkson, NASA. Where my wrench go? It's right there. You can't see it. Oh, I see. Yeah, he said, "Oh, I see it." Oil is the blood of Earth. Yes, yes. Somebody said it. Wizard, that's the truth. Tell it like it is, my friend. Tell it like it is. Oil is the blood of the earth. Yes. I hope we're talking about the same thing. I hope we're saying like blood is good. Blood is, empower, gives us life. Oil and natural gas and coal. They are all together fossil fuels. The greatest amount. You should look up I think it was God damn it. I'm terrible with remembering names. Um Alex Epstein. Alex Epstein is great when it comes to talking about fossil fuels. He has two books, especially the um the moral case for fossil fuels and fossil future. I read both of those books. They're excellent. If you want to know the reality of if you want to know the reality of global warming, then I suggest highly that you read this and watch it. The guy from Top Gear, the car show. I see that. I just saw that. I just saw that. But I'm not sure what you want me to do. Let me see. Oh, okay. Top Gear. NASA makes their own rain clouds from hydrogen. Power of ions kits for cars. I see. Now, not NASA is playing God. It's making its own weather. Well, let's talk about that phrase, playing God. When are we not playing God? Because technically, we're not playing God. We're just engaging in engineering. We're engaging in forming the world we want to know and see. That's all we're doing. We're just controlling our own existence. That's not playing God. That's just being human. There is no God to play. But should we be using oil? It's a sin. Oh, I thought we were on the same page. Oil is not a sin. We should be using more oil. Drill, baby, drill, baby, drill. We should be using oil. It is not a sin to use oil. Oil is a blessing. I mean, if I want to use that terminology, it is a great way. Just look at the map. Just look at the diagrams. Look at the charts. Look at all the graphs. I said they look like hockey sticks. The amount of wealth, the amount of standard of living, and the life expectancy all have gone up because of fossil fuels. You get rid of fossil fuels, you go literally back to the dark ages where there is no light. You have to use dung or wood or something like that to light your home, and it's all sooty, and that gets in your lungs, and you get black lung, and you die at the age of 22, 23, or maybe you live a little bit longer to maybe 39 or 40 if you're lucky. If you even get to that age of 20, because there's so many diseases that are in the world because there's no fossil fuels, especially oil, that help out and facilitate people to create new products that help out people and extend life. So that's why a lot of people had a lot of kids back in the days. They had like 8 to 12 kids because they knew 6 or 7 they wouldn't go past childhood because there wouldn't be those life saving devices and those life saving tools or nutrients or nourishment to help them uh, live life, to continue with life. But does it damage Earth as far as global warming? I'm asking. I'm not telling you. No, I got you, good wizard. I understand. That's what I'm trying to be. Very conscious about this. I'm trying to be very sincere. Not that I'm not always sincere, but I'm trying to get to your question, get to your point. It does not damage the Earth. It probably improves the Earth in a lot of ways. Because this is the best part about using the earth. It's like when you have trees. What do you do when you uproot trees or you cut down trees? You plant 2 more trees. So within the next 30 years, you can have at least one more tree, and that tree can still be alive. There can be another one, and you plant another two trees or a few trees. That's the beauty of it. That's the part of people that don't understand. Oh, save the trees, save the whales, save the bees, save the snails. It's like they don't understand. Save the humans. When do people ever say that? Save human beings. Save humans. No, no, we're messing up the ozone layer. We're messing up we're causing global warming. That's why it's so hot outside right now in the northeast coast and on the northeast. That's the reason why people got it all messed up. I appreciate the good point. I appreciate that, but that's I went down this winding road to say that it's that same level of it's not even ignorance. It's a refusal to know. That's what people mainly see. That's like with Amazing Grace. Once blind, now I see. Well, it's not even that you weren't blind. It was your refusal to see, and now you just choose to see now. If you want to have that kind of conversation, um, that's where we are right now with most people. That's where we are. So I think that we have to fight for reason. That's the like the padlock on the straitjacket of global warming or flat earthism or anything that's irrational. It just unlocks, and all the whole straitjacket just falls to the ground, and you're free. Your arms are free. You're free to move. You're free of range and liberty. You're free of movement. It's wonderful. So I would definitely argue for more ideas, more thoughts, even if they're wrong, to be challenged, to be debated, even if you're wrong. Because like this is what Neil deGrasse Tyson was saying. He was just saying how there's people wanted to debate. There's one side that's saying these things can be very articulate and have very good vocabulary and can be very charismatic, and the other person could not be so well read and well versed in saying something, or they may not know what they're talking about, or it seems like that. And then he was saying how there's always going to be a winner. Well, this is the thing: the winner, according to Dr. Jerome Brook, is the audience. The audience wins. It selects who won the debate. Like especially, it's great when you have debates that say, "Who do you think is right according to this specific idea?" And they, sometimes they have technology that tabulates the percentage of how many people voted for this person at the beginning of the debate, and then at the end of the debate, do they still agree with them or not, or has it switched? Has it changed? That's very interesting. All right, Wizard says, "Who created humans if you don't believe it's a God? Weren't we created by one of God's creations?" That's the thing we have to talk about. There is no God and there's no creation. We just happen to come out of the primordial swamps because of adaptation and evolution. That's what happened. This world is this Earth is 4 billion years old. The universe is about 13 or 14 billion years old. And we were just in the Goldilocks zone. That's what they call it, the Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. And it happened to be on this Earth. It's the only planet that has sustained life that we can tell, that we know of so far, that we're probably ever going to know, because in distant galaxies, it'll take light years. I mean, it'll be within light years. I don't want to say light years as a matter of time. It's a matter of distance. It will take light years to get to those places, so we'll never really know if there are intelligent life, quote unquote, or any form of life, really. I mean, we've been flirting and trying to see if there was ice on one of the ravines in Mars and stuff like that, and it's like that's cute, but it's nothing like Earth. That's what I said. It's like it reminds me of the idea of what letter becomes before A. Like who cares? You think about all the great letters you can use to make words and sentences and paragraphs and chapters and novels. and books and different things like that. So there's no God. There's only evolution and adaptation. That's it. That's the rational way of explaining things. Evolution and adaptation. And adaptation is subsumed by evolution. It's part of its own. It's an extension of evolution. And all the evidence of that is around us. Everything that we consider, everything that we have, all our bodies, our human bodies, everything has been happening because of that. Because of that. Have you ever seen? I've never seen the movie Jupiter Ascending. Is that with Halle Berry and Tom Hanks? Is that? Let me do my research. Hold on. Let me do more research. I might be wrong. No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. That was this is different. This is Channing Tatum and Eddie Redmayne and Mila Kunis. What was there was Cloud Out Atlas. That's what it was. And Sean Bean, Tuppence Middleton. Tuppence Middleton. Okay, so never saw it. No, it's a sci-fi. Yeah, well, my movie I was talking about is a sci-fi too, but I was just wrong about who was the lead actors. I was thinking about this one. Let me see. Uh, Cloud Atlas. That's what I thought you were talking about. Another science fiction movie. I haven't seen either one. I've never seen Jupiter Ascending, and I've never seen Cloud Atlas. Cloud Atlas didn't do too well financially, but let me see. What happens to us when we die, from your perspective? That's it. That's what I'm talking about. Who cares? Why do you care? What is that? Why do we so? Why is there heaven and hell and nirvana and so many different religions and factions and thoughts and philosophers and thinkers and people say, what happens when we die? Who gives a damn? Like, why do you care? Think about life. Think about what we're doing right now. We're engaging with each other in different ideas. I'm having a great time. I like this. This makes me feel alive. I'm having a good time talking about things that I care about. What I don't care about is death. That's the end of me. That's the letter Z. That's after the letter Z. Who cares? What comes after the letter Z? We should be concerned about the alphabet. We get 26 letters. That's like the time of our lives. You only get 26 letters. You only get so many amount of years. If you even get that much. What's so funny? Oh, nigga, I don't want to wake up in my casket. Well, you're not gonna be there. You're not gonna be. That's it. You're not gonna be there. You're gonna be in non-existence. I want to meet God and see my loved ones again. Well, what is God? What does God smell like? What ages are your loved ones gonna be? It's all conjecture. It's all bullshit. Really, it's all mumbo jumbo. It doesn't make any sense. But people keep on. They keep on. Thumping that Bible, thumping that Quran, thumping that Torah, then this is the way for thousands of years. Like I said, we had 21st century technology with first century morality. So it's not even a thing about seeing your loved ones. But Ayn Rand said this herself. He said, she said to Phil Donahue, he said, he was saying, like, if there was a chance for you to see your husband again, would you take it? She was like, yes, I would commit suicide just to see him again, just to know that he was okay and everything was fine. She would do that, but she knows better. She knew better. She knows that that's not possible. That's out of the realm of reality. Where did we get our technology from? We get it from our minds. We get it from our brains. We get it from our thought processes. Technology is a lot of things. One of the first greatest achievements of technology was agriculture. Now it's thousands of years ago. That was the first great idea somebody had to think about. So let me see, there was a Newton that figured out, let me put this seed in the ground, it's gonna grow, and it has fruit. I can eat this fruit. That's interesting. I got to study that more. Then there was a Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk that came in and said, wait a minute, I can make some money off of this. If I can do this, do a whole field of these, then I can make a whole lot of money. I can be successful in that way. I can trade shells or whatever the case might be. I can trade banana leaves or whatever they were using, or etched rocks, supremely etched rocks. I can use that. So, do you believe in aliens? I believe that it's possible for them to exist, but we'll never know it, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're aliens or not, because we'll never know. They would have to have extremely advanced technology for them to reach us, and we're not even close to being able to reach them. We have our ships go tens of thousands, maybe not tens of thousands. I think 5,000, maybe 5,000 miles an hour or more. I'm not. Don't get me mixed up. I got my research. Hold on. How fast does a rocket ship go? So a rocket ship can go. They're going 5,600 to 10,100 miles per hour. We don't even have anything close to what we need to go as fast as to reach those areas out there. There are certain Earth-like planets that are very close to being like Earth, but we don't have the capability. We don't have the capacity. We're not even close. You're asking me some questions. All right. I live in my subconscious. I don't think people do. Well, you got to be careful about living in your subconscious. You have to live in your consciousness as well. What about the Illuminati? Oh God, did you see that all white party they just hosted with Drake? Yeah, I saw Drake. He was with some other. I can't remember who he was with. I just remember Drake that showing up and being in white party. I mean, there could be some kind of cabal in the world. I mean, I wouldn't, second guess it. It's possible. It's not impossible that there's a select group that governs, certain, you know, corporations and governments and things of that nature. But I think most of it's bullshit. I just think it's an easy way. It's very easy for people to say that, oh, he's famous because he's got the Illuminati. Oh, he's rich. He only has money because he's in the Illuminati. That's cheap and fake and easy and corny, really. I think that's really corny when you say that about people. So that's where we are right now. And if you notice, I mean, it's still global warming. Global warming. It's pretty loud. It's still pretty loud. What's real? It's real. The sun and the sun. What's real? The Illuminati? Give me stats and facts and figures and hard evidence that reflects that it's real. Sexy red is proof. Okay, that's a joke. That was a good one. That was good. She's an industry plant. They put her in to destroy hip hop. I understand. I get it. I get it. I get it. That was a good one. Sexy red is proof. Oh my god, y'all are the best. Sexy Red is proof. She's an industry plant to take over hip hop, make it as ratchet and as backwards as possible. I actually like Sexy Red. She's like that quiet, calculating, kind of woman. She knows what she's doing. At least she knows she. It's not like what me talking about these things in my songs. I'm the one. Am I doing that? I didn't really. She's not a babe in the woods. She knows I got ratchet songs. I play them because I like them, and other people like them too, and that's why I get paid. Like that. She's just telling it like it is. And we got to remember, this is how short our memory is. The blues. Anybody remember the blues? Bessie Smith, Ma Rainey, Robert Johnson, Howlin' Wolf, and so many others. There's like 100 blind bluesmen. Um, they were saying some really raunchy stuff. Really raunchy stuff. They should have had parental advisory stickers on their records. On the sleeves of the records. Aaliyah getting moved out the way for Beyonce. Oh man, oh man. See, I was thinking about. I'm not gonna do it, but I was gonna write. I'll just say it on here. I was gonna write a screenplay about this. I'm not gonna do it now. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna voice my word. Take my idea if you wish, and you can make $1 million off of it. But I was gonna make like a 19th century setting where like a train crashes and a beautiful debutante is killed, and all is left is this other beautiful debutante, and she comes in and she takes over the game. Like I was gonna do that because you brought that up, and I was just thinking the same thing. Because people think Beyonce is Yoko Ono. They think that if there was no Beyonce, there'll still be The Rock. I mean, the Rockefeller, not this Rock Nation, but Rockefeller. They would still be intact. And notice how all the labels are being detracted. The only one that I can think is standing is really or the ones that are standing really are, I guess, No Limit, Rap a Lot, I guess Shady Records, maybe. I could be missing a lot. I mean, there's a few. I mean, Griselda. That's what I'm just going off the top of my head. You can start naming some if you like, but yeah, yeah. Dick Gregory spoke on the blues a while back. Yeah, you gotta know about your history. We have a short term memory. We don't think about this stuff is already brought up. We're human beings. If we're gonna have an opportunity to talk about something, we're gonna talk about sex, drugs, murders, everything that goes on in real life. Just a fact. It's just a fact. We can't really shy away from them. We have to embrace them. But you mentioned the late great Dick Gregory. I appreciate that. Illuminati is real. I believe the elite have access to information that we do not have access to, as far as books and certain history events that were hidden or altered so we wouldn't know the truth. Well, just give me evidence, sir. Just give me a link. I can type in. I got my MacBook open right now. I got my notes up here. Just give me a link. Give me paragraphs. Give me graphs. I just need hard evidence to say that there's an Illuminati that's in place. Like I said, there could be a slight cabal somewhere. I mean, they tie the Freemasons to Illuminati, which is weird because I think they're kind of distinct. I don't think they're necessarily the Illuminati. I mean, there's secret societies in Harvard. I mean, there's places you can't go past the bike room. These sororities, fraternities and sororities, and these in different houses, they're kind of like secret societies too. They do weird, goofy shit. They drink and upside down and have to state the original 13 colonies in alphabetical order and shit like that. It's this goofy, weird, next level shit. And what do they call it? Omega Psi Phi. It's Phi, by the way. If you read, this is the power of reading. It's not Phi, it's Phi. Phi is Phi. It's pronounced Phi, not Phi. I learned that from my good friend Bill Nye the Science Guy. I just happened to be reading his book. He said it's not Phi, it's Phi. So, all the Omega Psi Phi is what it's really supposed to be called. They get those on. They take the hanger. They warm it up and they brand their skin and shit like that. It's crazy, man. It's just those are the secret societies. Though they populate different branches of the military. They populate different branches of the government, corporations, all kinds of things like that. So you really can't go against you know just a select few because, like I said, you just watch the movie The Social Network. Mark Zuckerberg's character, the actor Jesse Eisenberg playing Mark Zuckerberg, he said, against the Winklevoss twins, he was like, "This is about where you can go. You can't go past the bike room. Because why can't I go past the bike room? What's so special beyond the bike room? What's going on back there, yo? What the hell? What's going on?" And the same thing with even something that's simple, and I think it's for a joke. I think it's a joke mainly, but it's something like the hasty pudding. They have their own, set of people that are admitted to the hasty pudding, which is the creators of the National Lampoon, and they make the funny movies. They make the funny. They do the jokes. There's Colin Jost is a I don't know if he was a member of the Hasty Pudding, but I know he was in Harvard and he's a funny guy. Doesn't mean he's necessarily a member of Hasty Pudding though. But so they have a room. There's a room where they congregate and nobody can go past it. Nobody can go in there. No media outlets. Nothing. It's completely a secret thing. So the Illuminati isn't exclusive. I'll give you an example. Since technology has become the focal point for us as humans, it's hard for most people to pay attention to just one thing. Music is hot today and cold tomorrow. Well, it's always been like that. It's always been hot today and cold tomorrow. That's why there's so many genres. Is rock and roll hot today? The hottest, musical genres are country, R&B, and hip hop, and pop. Of course, pop. Oh my God, how could I forget? There's K-pop. There's all kinds of popular music, literally pop music. But rock and roll is essentially on it's pretty much dead. Hip hop is in a ventilator at least, but rock and roll is dead. I was just watching a hockey game, and they're not playing any rock and roll from today. They're playing all hits from 80s and 70s and 80s. They're playing John Bon Jovi and Aerosmith and Guns N' Roses. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Carnegies. You forgot the Bilderbergs. Yeah, Rock is dead, but you got to remember the Bilderbergs. The Bilderbergs. What do they all have in common? Well, it's obviously money, but it's not like what people want to say. There's like Chris Rock said in a setup he had. He said, "Behind every great fortune is a great crime." To some degree, that's true, but for the like 99%, and that's like 1% that's true probably, but the 99%, corporations and companies come out of people just coming from nothing and having an idea and working it out and creating and building and making and producing. To be successful in the world, you have to fuck over others. Look at Jay-Z and what he did and everyone else. That's not true, sir. Look at Steve Jobs. Did he fuck over anybody? He didn't fuck over anybody. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg didn't fuck over anybody. Because if they really did, they'd be behind bars. They'd be in prison. That's the reason you be able to fuck over somebody, because you'd be in prison for fraud. John D. Rockefeller, Carnegie, like you said, Vanderbilt. Okay, Steve Jobs, explain to me how he fucked over his employees and why did they stay? Why didn't they say, "Oh, I just got fucked over. I'm going to continue to go to Apple tomorrow"? Like, so he fucked over his employees, but they kept working. They didn't have an opportunity to go. Well, I'm going with Microsoft. Forget this. This is crazy. This nigga wild. I don't know about this Steve Jobs nigga. I'm going to Bill Gates. I'm going to Microsoft. I honestly don't know. I'm just joking. Okay, yeah. They love to say that when they get into the thick of the woods. And say, "Oh, I was just playing. I was just joking. I wasn't being serious." Okay. Never mind me. I was just pulling your leg. But at least you were honest. You said you don't know. You're just joking. I can respect that. You're just making a little Saturday joke. I don't even know where you are, but it's hot as hell where I am in Newark, Delaware. I don't have any examples, just rumors. Yeah, that's that's the basis for flat earthers. They don't have any examples, just rumors. they they just have hearsay. They just have, well, I feel that the earth. You can't feel. You have to know. You have to know that the earth is curved. You have to know it's like a sphere. Oh, you're in DC, so it's hot. It's hot in DC. We're basically just about 2 hours away, so it's like 96 degrees or something like that where you are. It's 89 degrees right now. The high is 92 where I am. So the rapper B.O.B. said Earth was flat. Yep, and Doctor oh my God. Hold on. God damn. Names just escape me. I'm terrible with names. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Jesus Christ. Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson has said, he was sent a letter, to Bob explaining in detail how the Earth was not flat because it was a thing on Twitter. Well, X now, but then it was Twitter. Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson, exactly. Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. He said, here's the facts, here's the truths, here's the reality, here's everything you need to know to realize that it's not a flat Earth. Here's your chance at knowing it. So I'm gonna lay it out for you. I'm gonna lay it down. So he was able to respond to him. So I thought that was pretty dope. And a clash of popular culture because Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson is in popular culture now, and Bob was a rapper. I don't know what he's doing now. I haven't heard something from him in years. I think I think Tyler the Creator might have stole his career. He could have stole his career. I'm not 100% sure, but I haven't seen him in anything as of late. Let me see. 2017 to the present. What's the present? Yeah, his last. He released two further projects: a sixth studio album, Somnia, and his compilation album, Lost Tapes, in 2021. Here's something that I learned. Here's from Wikipedia. Okay, let me see. Anybody say anything else? Okay. What the escorts like where you are? Tyler, a million times better. Facts. I have to agree. I went to his concert, found my first white woman. The rest is history. Oh man, but that's historical. We can go into that some other time. What are the escorts like? I don't know. I don't get involved with the escorts. I don't do that. That's not my thing. But here's something. Here's it from Flat Earth from Wikipedia. It says, let me see. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson responded to B.O.B. on Twitter and attempted to persuade him that Earth is round, but the rapper refused to retract his reviews and accused NASA of avoiding questions while releasing a diss track against Tyson. Could you imagine? That's part of like pop culture that we just don't get much. A rapper, dissing a astrophysicist. That's amazing. The track titled "Flatline" expands on B.O.B.'s views about the shape of the Earth. Tyson and his rapper nephew Steven responded to B.O.B.'s Flat Earth diss with their own diss track titled "Flat to Fact." Tyson followed this with a January 2016 television appearance on the Comedy Central late-night talk show, The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore, where he addressed the rapper. It's a fundamental fact of calculus and non-Euclidean geometry. Small sections of large curved surfaces will always look flat to little creatures that crawl upon it. And by the way, this is called gravity. I spoke about gravity, didn't I? Tyson said, dropping his mic. B.O.B. accepted membership in the Flat Earth Society in 2016. That's sad. That's really sad. The Flat Earth Society. They even have a sphere or a spherical look for the logo. This is sad. This is really sad. Oh man, it's sad. It's very sad. The flat earthers. It's just crazy. Oh, here we go. We're doing this. Okay, the Doors of the Rolling Stones. The Doors. Do you watch Game of Thrones? No, I do not. I do not. But y'all are stepping up. This is a free show. Y'all need to be sending addresses out to people saying, "Look, man, you guys see this goofy ass nigga. I don't know. He be talking some good stuff. Sometimes he be talking crazy, but you just gotta listen to him. You just gotta watch him. It's a free show tonight. Y'all don't have to pay for questions. I'm answering questions. That's the only thing I ask for. Just to get more people in here, more subscribers. That's all I ask. All I ask. This is sad, man. This is how is this even possible? How do people even start this? I know. I'm just asking. I know why. Conspiracisms. That's the difference. We have to always go by that. Conspiracy theories versus conspiracisms. Conspiracisms don't have any validity whatsoever. Conspiracy theories at least have the inkling of truth. The Stooges or Black Sabbath? The Stooges. The Stooges. Yeah, Iggy Pop. Look out now, cause I'm using technology. Ain't got time to make no apology. Got it more. One who searches to destroy. He popped that nigga. Ain't he though? That nigga like 69, 73 years old. How old is this nigga? This nigga's like 77 years old. Got a better body than people in their 20s. Got a better body than me, my fat ass. This nigga. 77 years old. Oh, you would do this. This is, you know what? You owe me money for this. You owe me money for this, wizard. I don't give a goddamn. You give me money. I'm kidding. Hip hop or rock and roll? Oh my god. I say hip hop. I just say hip hop. For me, I could. This is just an opinion. It's my opinion, but hip hop. Cause I can scroll through my brain different albums. I can scroll through different voices. I don't know whole albums and whole voices of rock and roll. I know a few hit songs here and there, and what they put on the radio, but I can't scroll through a catalog of rock and roll. Do you think vampires exist? No, not in the mythical way that people think like they live forever. I think there are probably people that. I read a book by James Patterson, which is not that good, but that's another story. But uh, what am I saying? About vampires. Well, yeah, not really, not yet, because I'll get to that later. Let me talk about the vampires first. Vampires don't exist in the way that, like the mystical way, like they live forever or they live, they, whatever the mystical way you can do it. But there are probably people that sharpen their teeth and bite into people and drink their blood and stuff like that. I think there are people that do that. If you want to classify them as vampires, and so be it. But that's just that. Hip hop outlived rock. I don't know if that's true. I mean, stack to stack. I mean, back. If you put them back to back, rock went from like the late '40s to the early '90s. No, early 2000s maybe. I'll say the early 2000s. That's a little longer than hip hop. A little longer. Late '40s, maybe mid 2000s. And then rock and roll is just pretty much it just there were no major, superstar rock bands after like 2006. I would say you just can't find them. Like I said, I'm listening to a Panther, the world champion, Stanley Cup final champions, the Panthers. I'm listening to the songs they're playing at the arena. Is Appetite for Destruction. It's like Hot Rocks. It's all kind of things from that. Name three new rock bands. Can't do it. I without cheating. I have to cheat. I have to cheat. I have to use my notes. Three new rock bands. Let me see. Um, Heim. That's a good one. That's one I can name Heim. Here's three. Here's three. Okay, okay. Here's at least two or three. There could be three. Inhaler, At, and Heim. I never even heard of At or Inhaler, but I heard of Heim. They played on SNL. It's a three-part female sister band from LA. I don't. I can't. I mean, reggae is cool, but I don't. I can't. Dun, 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 dun. Like I'm good. I'm good. I would probably have to be wasted off of some margaritas or some or some red stripe beer or something like that on a beach. Then I'd be like, woo, yeah, play the winners, yeah, yeah, man. Like, I would be such a, a poser. Like I said, I'm a poser for rock and roll. I know a few hits, I know a few things from the, but I don't know. I know whole catalogs from rock and roll. Excuse me, from hip hop. I know whole catalogs. I know almost by song, somebody's CD. I can do that. I can almost do that pretty succinctly. Not promising it, so don't ask me to do it here, but I can almost do that. So I have to look up at now. See, this is the thing I like about this show. Now I have to look up inhaler and at. Probably not the greatest, band name, but it's interesting because they had the AT. I don't know. And he's laughing at my goofy ass. That's fine. Laugh at me. But this all traces to flat earthers. This is all about flat earthers. There are people that really believe it. And the thing is, like, oh, what is this? I tried to listen to Pink Floyd. You wouldn't even tried. They're my second favorite rock band. I only know Dark Side of the Moon and some of the Wall. I've seen the movie The Wall. I was impressed. I thought it was awesome. It blew my mind. A lot of the visuals, a lot of the animation. It was great. You gotta go back and re-listen to Pink Floyd and give them their credit. At least they know who they stole from. They stole, they took the name from Pink Council and Floyd Anderson, two black blues musicians. Pink Floyd. That's what Pink Floyd stands for. A lot of people may not know. You think it's the color? What is it? What is the pink? Why is the Floyd pink? No, it's from these two black bluesmen. A lot of people don't realize that. I'm giving knowledge tonight. Y'all owe me bodies. I need bodies. Y'all don't got to give me your money, but I need bodies. Fleetwood Mac, but well, I wouldn't even consider them. You were closer with the Stooges and Black Sabbath, but Fleetwood Mac and Pink Floyd. Fleetwood Mac is great. They have great songs, and both of them. If you want to go by, albums sold, I guess you can say that because they both act sold hundreds of millions of albums. I think something like that. Um, but yeah. So you have to go with who is Pink Floyd? I don't know who. Maybe it's hard. It's hard. I don't know. You're good on the Doors and Rolling Stones uh, uh, connection or distinction. That was good, but this isn't so great. Fleetwood Mac is better. What? They're hard. They're not even in the same area. You wouldn't even put them in the same category. I want a new Jay Z album. Well, we'll see. He may have a collaboration album with Nas if Shaquille O'Neal has anything to do with it. Oh man. So flat earthers. That's the whole goal of the show. Talking about flat earthers, people that just and like I said, look how many people, how many scientists would say that they are atheists, but how many scientists would say that they're objectivists? Very few. like maybe 100 in the world. I don't know. I can't do the calculation. I don't know what it is. Maybe 1,000, maybe in the world are scientists and objectivists. Maybe 1,000, maybe 100, maybe 500, maybe 100. I don't know. I know one. I know two. At least one. Doc Locke, Dr. Keith Lockage. I mentioned him previously. So that's why I think about I just think that the way that the flat Earth, I have 0 viewers by now, right now. By the way, zero, as I can see, you guys can see something different, but I have 0 viewers. I'm gonna still go. I'm at the 100-minute mark, by the way. So may not be going for that long, but it's it's a weird space. It's a weird space to be in, to be a flat earther. One day they may have it, but it's just like scientists. Scientists they believe in God. Some scientists, and if they don't believe in God, they believe in something else irrational, not philosophically sound. Doesn't necessarily have to be objectivism. It should be objectivism, but it doesn't have to be. It could be something that's at least close to objectivism, at least has some kind of semblance of reality. I'm not talking about the Atlas Society either. Don't get me started on them. It's really sad. Makes for, a really difficult place to be in, if you ask me. That's the fact. That's the reality. But hey, it's over 100 minutes. I got 0 viewers. I got 4 likes. So I thank you all for watching. Thank you for tuning in, whoever you were. I'm not going to name everybody because I'll probably forget. But I thank you all. You made my show better. I think it's the longest show I've ever had. It wasn't the highest amount of ratings, but still, I enjoyed it because I get to have my little soapbox and speak my mind and express myself in a cogent and persuasive way. And I do appreciate everybody that came through. And I can say one thing, especially Bella Valentino. She stepped in. She's the first lady of the show, Phil. I appreciate her. So thank you very much. I shall see you sometime tomorrow. Take care.